from Ukraine. Good evening, friends, and welcome to the update for the day 258 of the war, when Ukraine are defending the rest of the countries, especially in Europe, from the Russian aggression. As you know, Russia attacked Ukraine and occupied the part of territory, and at this moment, we're fighting for our sovereignty, for our freedom, and fighting for our land to get it back. Thank you to all who supports us. Thank you for all who stands with Ukraine. And here's some news. So, Ukrainian Air Forces launched 16 strikes hitting 4 Russian command posts, 4 defense system hit. Russian troops continue to strike critical infrastructure and civilian house in violation of international humanitarian law and the laws and the customs of war. Over the past day, the enemy has launched 3 missile strikes and 10 air strikes. Settlements in such regions as Kharkiv, Donetsk, Zaporizhzhia, and Kherson come under enemy fire. Belarus, we will come back to the Belarus later, and continues to support Russia with all the possible ways, and providing troops with infrastructure, the territory or airspace. And then coming to the south, it's convoys of trucks with household appliances and the construction materials moved across the Kakhovska HPP dam. We touched it before. The enemy continues to dismantle and remove equipment from mobile communications towers of Ukrainian network operators. The enemy took away all artistic values, furniture, and equipment from Kherson Regional Art Museum, named after Alexei Shovkunenko, and in the Zaporizhzhia area regions, Melitopol district and Mikhailivka district, Russian invaders are forcing, and remember the time ago we were telling about this, and this is what they continue forcing people to get Russian passports, and they taking the passport of Ukrainian citizen, or threatening people with a relocation. If people doesn't want to change the passport, they say, okay, we will be relocating. So this is the main thing for the beginning, and the news number 1 and the place number 1, it's a Snegurivka. Right in this moment, the hottest battle are there. It's a Snegurivka. It's a place which is 45 kilometers from Kherson, on the north and east a little bit, and there is a lot of news about that, but you will not find much, but a lot of news like controversial, let's say. But according to the information we have, at this moment, our guys, Ukrainian army, already fixed their positions on the north of that place, and some of the sources informing that the Ukrainian army already took the Snegurivka, which I cannot confirm. So let's wait until morning, and then we'll have much more news. I hope it will be the great news for Ukraine. We will get and liberate, yeah, we will get this territory back, and that's it. Belarus, from the 16th of October, non-stop, like different periods, but Russia is sending military trains with the supplying and the technique and the weapon to Belarus, and locating it there. And as you see, this is the example. And when I was watching one of these trains, how much technique on it and different kinds, I would like to have non-stop technique like this, the trains like this, for the supply of Ukraine. And I hope soon we will have it, the videos and pictures. But this is what's going on. So the next propaganda And this is one of the strong part of Russia during the years and years and years. And here is one example. You remember in the previous programs, the Pope of Rome, the head of Vatican City and the Roman Catholic Church, he said, he was telling about that Russia is really, he doesn't believe that they can be cruel, and this is the peaceful people, and so on. So here is example. This is a show, the drama show in Kaluga. It's in Russia, where these people, the propaganda people, are using Ukrainian uniforms. So this is, the men are dressed wearing Ukrainian uniforms to create an image of Ukrainian soldiers like crazy people, like cruel people, and they are moving this theater. I mean, with that kind of show, as moving from one place to another, creating that image of enemy in the people's mind, using Ukrainian uniforms. And you will never, at this moment, during the war, find anything like this in Ukraine. Yes, they're attacking us, they are aggressors. Yes, they're killing us and taking out our territories, but this is just the fact. And the war going on is on Ukrainian side. But to make it special, to create a picture, an image of Ukrainians as an enemy in civilians' mind in Russia, they doing it. This is what we had in the past, in the history. The same, absolutely the same stories. Okay, Solovyov, you know that man, and let's listen for him. And this is why why he sends this kind of message to people, because it's the mobilized. This like, let's say, they mobilize the new soldiers in army. They getting in the terrible conditions with no supplies, sometimes without the food, without uniforms, without anything. And so they started to post, hey, please, the commanders or Putin or politics, help us because we are here. They throw us here in Ukraine and we have nothing in here, no supply. So as answer to this, the Solovyov points them back. Look at this.
And you will be telling in your thought that you have a wrong commander and you've been not trained well. How about you? How did you train yourself? What have you done in a military training fields to prepare yourself to the fight? Or you think everyone owes you something? What you owe to the motherland, to your country, but we never asked such questions at least 30 years of the modern Russia, because we couldn't ask these such questions.
Propaganda is creating the sense of like being a guilt, so people would experience the guilt for, if they're not prepared, if they're going to army and they are not like preparing their families to kill Ukrainians, and this is their own problem and so on, because they're losing a lot in a lot of places on the front lines. The Russian army are losing a lot, and this is the answer how they're trying for people to feel. And one more reality. So from Russian media, let's look at this.
Населенных пунктов есть ли какие-то, которые сможем взять в ближайшее время, или свои успехи фиксируем пока только метрами и километрами, совсем медленно продвигаясь?
Я процитирую своего друга-снайпера, который вот много месяцев под Марьинкой работает, под Донецком. Марьинка, Александровка, Авдеевка, Пески. Мы наступаем 3 сантиметра в день. Его фраза. Без комментариев.
Понятно. Спасибо вам огромное, Дмитрий Стешин, военный корреспондент «Комсомольской правды», на прямой связи Донбасс, линия фронта. Спасибо большое.
And this is the part of the truth. Yes, just some inches a day. They're trying, and in reality, at total, yes, in some areas they're pushing us, but at general, our guys pushing, taking the square meters back day by day. Okay, the pressure on Russia. One of the sources, and it's already not one, in different countries, shows that Russia and Russian army in a crisis of preparing for the winter, and their sources are weak, let's say, inside, but most important, it's a situation of partnership of these terrorists. Why North Korea are producing the military winter uniforms for Russia, and I mean, don't ask like about possible supplying the other stuff. Iran does the same. I mean the same, but you know, they're not doing the uniforms, but they're producing the cruise missiles and different kinds of armor for, I mean, the weapons for the Russian army. One more factor of the pressure on Russia is, if you remember, the 1st of March of this year, the Turkey closed Bosphorus and Dardanelles Straits for, I mean, warships of Russia would not come through for helping in here. Why? Because of the Convention of Montreux. There is a convention that which regulates it and gives Turkey possibility to block if it's during the wartime. They can block. After 9 months of staying, few warships, Russian warships, coming back, and Russia withdrew 2 warships from Turkey and back to Vladivostok. It was Varyag and Admiral tributes, and it's the same kind of the ship as the Moscow, which was sink in the Black Sea after the attack of Ukrainian army, because they were using that ship for killing our people, launching the missiles and destroying our cities and the life. So they tried to help. There is no ship, the Moscow ship anymore, and those are got back. They couldn't pass through. Thank you for that. And one more. Turkey closes its airspace for Russian for our Russian dual registration aircrafts. What is it, and why the Russian registered in the 2 different places aircrafts cannot fly and use the Turkish airspace? Why? The ban has been in effect since November 1st and applies to aircraft that Russia did not return to their owners after the imposition of sanctions for the war in Ukraine. All aircraft registered in Bermuda belong to Western leasing companies that have provided them for use by Russian carriers. After the announcement of the first sanctions against Russia for the invasion of Ukraine, the lessors demanded to return of the liners, but the Russian authorities allowed the airlines not to do this. In March, Russian President Vladimir Putin ordered aircraft to be registered in Russia so that they could continue to fly. It was assumed that the issuance of the Russian national certificates would allow airlines to keep their aircraft fleet and use them on domestic roads. But at this moment, no, they cannot use it, and it means a lot. So from this moment, From the beginning of November, their airplanes has to look for the much longer routes, and it's not easy. It will be the big, the big element of pressure as well. Let's get back a little bit to the February 27. You remember it was the third day of the invasion of Russia in Ukraine, and what was that? Russian media, their positions, they were showing to all the world. Russia is ready to talk about the peace and conditions to stop the bloodshed in Ukraine. Denazification, demilitarization of Ukraine should be at the center of the negotiation, Russian Deputy Foreign Minister Rudenko said. February 27. Something has happened during that time. Something has been changed. So November 8, the same media source of Russia says, there are no preconditions on the part of Russia for negotiations with Ukraine, Russia Deputy Foreign Minister Rudenko said. The same man, the same Foreign Ministry Department. And why? This is why Russia did and will be doing to create a pressure on Ukraine, on President Zelensky, to bring Ukraine to negotiation. But no, we will not. I hope we will not. Why? Russia is getting back Ukraine step by step, taking back their territories, and the Russian army having some, big problems on the battlefields. This is why at this moment they're saying no preconditions anymore. We're ready. Let's talk. No, I agree completely with American positions. When Ukraine will be like a driver in this situation, then Ukraine will make its own decisions. No one will be doing it for Ukraine. Thank you for that position. UNICEF has warned the coming winter will see huge numbers leave Ukraine again. And the Children's Charity has warned as many as 800,000 could flee from this war, which was started by Putin and by Russia. Why? The winter is coming, and terrorists are attacking Ukrainian infrastructure, civil and objects, and the houses and electricity supply, electricity lines, and all the possible, main infrastructure objects. And this is reality, and will be not easy in the easy winter for us. The next one, evacuation from Kyiv. The administration of Kyiv announced, and they posted that they are working of preparation, possible evacuation, possible. There is no decision or nothing about evacuation, and I hope there will not be evacuation of the population of Kyiv, which is 3.5 millions of people. The media guys took some interview from people, and and you can see the answer.
I've heard about the vacation, and it shocked me. In a long time, I didn't feel any peace, but later I calmed down. It became better. But at this moment, I cannot imagine how it's possible 3 million of people to logisticate and to evacuate it. Do you have any plans? No? No, at this moment, I don't have any plan. Yeah, I was worrying. For example, I have a house out of the place, but it was built in a new way, not old kind, because that time nobody was thinking about the war, so everything was in electricity. So I have nowhere to go. We are from Mariupol. We already, used to it. As always, just sat in a car and moved. 6 months we were doing like that. So we will see. Probably we'll go to the west side of Ukraine. I think we will not have the evacuation situation, because the Ukrainian army will not allow this situation to happen, because Oh, probably in the case I will be going home. I mean, close to Bila Tserkva. Oh, to be honest, we just arrived. We are from Kherson. For example, I think until the last moment we will stay in Ukraine. Doesn't matter what place it will be, Kiev or other. Our plans in the first attack and the second one, it will be the same plan we had to sit here until the end, and if we will have the shellings over the heads, then we will leave the country. So the lights every time wins the darkness. We will be in Kiev because we have nowhere to go. We will stay in Kiev. So buying the candles, buying the water, and the food stuff. We have no relatives in the villages. We have nowhere to go to live.
Yeah, some people, like people from Mariupol, one of these families saying, okay, we used to move, we used to be relocated, we understand. If we need, we just take our car and leave. This is reality in Ukrainians' life. People used to move from one places to other, looking for the place to live, looking for the apartment or the house to rent, and it's not easy because a lot of people from the east were moving to the west side, looking for the safety for their families, and it's already a lot of places are busy, and it's not easy to find affordable price or something, I mean, to live, and we don't have the houses for millions of people. We will do something, but this is reality. Just think about that. At the final, I'll read you very serious news by Alexei Reznikov. In Ukraine, a partial mobilization has been announced, within which it is planned to call up about 300,000 of mosquitoes. The project has working title Mosquitoes Against Moscovitas. A quote from Nebenzi: according to the description, such a drone transports a container with a large number of mosquitoes, the carriers of infections, to targeted area and releases them. While biting, mosquitoes infect people with the pathogens of particularly dangerous diseases. The explanation directly emphasizes that an infected serviceman will be unable to perform the tasks assigned to him, concluding that the disease can be a more valuable military tool than the most modern weapons and the military equipments. Yes, this is Ukraine during the war. Yes, it's a joke, and this is joke. It's answer to all of these speeches in UN and about biolaboratories in Ukraine. Different things, the birds, mosquitoes, anything against of Russia. And yes, it was the answer. It was the joke for sure. In reality, Ukraine, we standing together with our army, and thank you to everyone who stands with us and support us, who helps us to help the people. And I think during the next days, I will be sending videos from the front line, from the Nikolaev Oblast, from that area. We'll be going there, helping our guys, bringing the stuff we were buying, like this power banks, and more are coming tomorrow. And you will get updates and the videos from different places we will be, and bringing some food to civilians. And we'll have a trip. And thank you one more time. If you like this video, please push the button that you like. And if you have any questions and some comments, please leave the comments. I love comments. Thank you for leaving it. It's encouraging to do something, encouraging, you just realizing, you just feel that people are, they're here. and yes, it's great if you share the truth with others. Share the link of the video. And yes, if you want to, I think will be new updates with the Pastor Greg. Will be new updates, maybe more than just once, or like special updates in the future. So don't forget to subscribe to not to miss it. And thank you very much. God bless. Love from Ukraine.